They do this because if they don't do it, God will punish them. They do it because God their master and their slave. But we do this because we love God. We need to build a relationship with God. I come to the church to be filled with the love of God. Enjoy my Father. Enjoy the joy and happiness that God gave it to me as a Christian. But they go to the mosque and they just go. They have to worship. They have to stay that time. They have to be very humble before that majesty, powerful God. They understand. We understand the difference, and that's the difference between them. So the 5 pillars must be kept. Prayer in Arabic must happen at specific times. I said 5 times a day. 5 in the morning, 12 in the afternoon, and evening, and so night. Ritual washing is required. They have to wash themselves. Like before they go to the mosque, there is like some faucet outside, very low, and they have to wash their hand like this way. They go like this, and they took the water like this way. It has to come down from here, and they have to wash their face, and around their face, they have to do this. Then they go to the mosque to pray. Well, you tell me why? Because they want to be clean before they meet with God. So even they don't have, we tell them the cleaning is not from outside, the cleaning from inside. And number 2, we go to God, our God, to clean us. We don't have to clean ourselves. You get to paradise as a result of good works, so you have to do good works. That's the point. So Muslims have to do good. You have to do it all your life to go to the paradise. But after you do everything, you're going to stand with God, and God has the only choice if He take you to the paradise. Your good will appease God or not. And that's the first session. If you have any question, when we come after the break, we'll talk about the culture. But if you have any question, please raise up your hand and let me know if you have any question about any of this or any about the religion. Yes, sir.
Maybe this gets covered later, but just based on what you were saying, I assume it's probably much easier to reach Muslim women with the gospel message for what it has to offer.
Yeah. You said it's easier, it's hard.
Probably easier for to convey to something that would be more willing for them to accept and explore. I mean, it just sounds like there's no hope in it. There's nothing for them.
Yeah, you're completely right. But yes and no. Yes, it's easier for women. Most women are not satisfied with Islam. Now, number 1, they ask them to put the veil, the complete veil or half veil. And to be honest, I'm talking natural now. Every woman wants to show her beauty, especially in young age. So a lady like 20 or 25 or 30, whatever, they want to show their hair, their makeup, whatever, it's natural life. Now, they ask them to cover everything. So they don't like that. Number 2, they live as a slave in home. Why? Number 3, my husband can beat me, my husband can do this, I cannot do anything. So they have all that question, you're right. And number 4, God promised men to do this and this in heaven. What about me? And very quickly, I'm going to just mention this story I had. I'm not sure if I have this in my slides or not, but I'm going to say it anyways. I had a friend of mine, he's a Muslim, and I just get to know him in Orlando. I visit with him at his home, and then I invited him and his wife to come to my home. And we have dinner, but at the same time, I invited a converted woman to my home at the same time. She is from their country, from their city. She was a Muslim, she saw Jesus, she converted to Christianity. So I invited all of them, and we have dinner, and then we started to talk about Jesus. And that lady started to share about her faith. And suddenly, the man's wife, she's in a veil, she started to talk out, and that's unusual. And she said, you know what? I was thinking the same questions. Why my husband has all these promises and I don't have? Why my husband allowed to beat me and punish me and I don't have any freedom? And she started to ask this question before her husband. And that's unusual, you know? And yes, they don't agree with it. It's easy to convince them with Islam. But the problem is, if you convince her with Islam, she will face lots of challenges. I met a lady in Germany, in Switzerland, sorry. I had a ministry there, so we went to meet with the Muslims in the street and stuff like that. So anyways, I met with the lady there. She was one of the very known Islamic organization, very fanatic. She and her husband. She had the whole veil, complete veil. She hate Christianity. She and her husband is one of the biggest terrorists. She come to Jesus. She accepted Jesus as her savior, and she went to home and her husband discovered that he beat her in France. I'm talking in France, like crazy. She told me about a story one time that he took her to his home, beat her, stabbed her with a knife, and closed the door and left her to die. Left her. And with the miracle ways, for some reasons her kids came and broke the door, and it's a long story, but I just want to give you the idea. And she survived, and she lived again, and she ran away. And by the way, in France now, they did not do anything for the husband, because they got afraid from Muslims, because Islam and Muslims are increasing in France like crazy. In some area in France, women cannot have the cross, like bracelet or something like that. They can't. Unfortunately, this is France. I'm showing you how countries became Islamic country without knowing. Islam is growing step by step until take everything, like Egypt. We were 100% Christian one day. Now we are 15% Christian. And Islam is growing here. Don't think that America like Islam, don't think about this way. Read about Islam in France. Read about Islam in Germany. Read, please. But anyways, so the government in France did not do anything with the husband. But my point is, she faced the death, from her husband. So when you talk to the women, they want to convert to Islam, but they got scared. Now, does it mean that there is no women come to Christianity? No, lots of them. We have a case in Orlando. She is from Yemen, and he is from Yemen, and she came to Jesus Christ, but he doesn't. But he's a very gentle man. He's very good, and he allows her to be Christian, and sometimes he drops her off in the church, and I got to know him and invite him to my home, and we talk about Christianity and Jesus. But we're still working with him, but he's still Muslim, and he let his wife Christian, and that's not usual, but maybe because we live in America, maybe because he's kind of educated guy. So my point is, sometimes it's okay. They come to Jesus. I know another lady last June. We had a group of people from Emirates, Dubai, came and we did outreach in one of the biggest universities in Orlando. It's called UCF. And we have tables, the Muslim came and give them Bibles, stuff like that. And we invite one from Virginia. She's a converted Muslim to Christianity. So her testimony is, she came to the United States as a visitor, and she accepted Jesus as her savior. But she doesn't tell her husband about this. And they went back to their country, and they came back again here, and she kept praying for him, sharing with him a little bit about Christianity, and she kept praying to him, for him, until he accepted Jesus. And one day he came to her and said, hey, I'm thinking to, I feel like I have Jesus in my heart, I want to be Christian. She told him, I did this decision for many years ago. So many women come to Jesus, yes, but it's hard, but God is doing great things. Yes.
I have one, I hope it's a quick question. Now when
Very good questions. And the answer is all of them. Yeah.
Yes.
Immigration, I have two opinion about immigration. I'm completely agree, although I am immigrant, so I'm not attacking myself. I'm just saying, listen, I'm saying the truth. Yes, immigrant is kind of like not very good idea for the country, for many different reasons, but I can see as a religious man, as a pastor or as a missionary, I can see that God is doing the immigration in all over the world. It's unprecedented, if you notice that. Everywhere. Egypt is a poor country. That's my country. We have now 10 million refugees. We have 5 million refugees from Sudan, 3 million from Syria, 2 million from Yemen. Well, I never heard about this. We have refugees. We cannot even feed ourselves. The government very poor, you know. But we have refugees. Now look, it's a world movement everywhere. I see this as this is God's hand, God's immigration way. He just allowed the immigration in unprecedented way all over the world. Why? Because God wants to spread His gospel to everyone. So we have people here from Saudi Arabia. I cannot go to Saudi Arabia. I mean, I went to every single country in the Gulf area except to Saudi Arabia. I can't. Well, now it's started to open a little bit, but I mean, like I'm talking in the past years, I can't go there. So who can reach to those people? Now they are here, and we can talk with them freely. So it's very good. So the migration, yes. The second thing, the birth rate, yes. One of their strategy is to get more kids. So for example, in Egypt, I can have 2-3 kids as a Christian. Just that's it, you know, because of many reasons. I mean, I'm not gonna say all of that, it's not our subject. But Muslims would love to have a 5, 6, 7, and they do the same thing in France and Germany, so the birth rate will increase. One more thing, in Michigan, I got with this story from one of the people that we know that have a ministry among Muslims. A Somali guy, he brought a woman from Somalia and he married her. And after 3-4 years, she got the citizenship. And it's a deal. When I'm saying it's a deal between a man and a woman. So he divorced her. She got her citizenship. That's her dream, to get the American citizenship. So he went back to Somali, bring another woman, marry her for 3-4 years, get kids of course, and divorce her. And he's done this all his life. That's his job. Why? Because he needs to bring more women, more kids, more Muslims here. That's one of their strategies. So it's increasing. I'm sorry, I'm gonna add something else. Maybe, I'm not sure, I'm gonna show this picture to you or not. I'm not sure it's on my slides or not. But one time I went to the mosque with a group of American people. And with that, we had like a dinner for the breaking fast in Ramadan. And I sit on a table, and one of the people, he's like a sheikh. So I started to talk to him, and I found out that he is American. He was the leader of the worship team in Episcopal church, something like that. I don't know how to say it. Episcopal church, I think. And he knows everything about it because he was the worship leader in the church. So I was really surprised, and I said, well, since when you convert to Islam? And he said, well, I just was in the church and he started to talk to me. And to be honest with you, I said, what I'm going to say to this guy? He knows everything. He knows the Bible, he knows the worship leader, he knows everything. What I'm going to tell him? If I talk about Jesus, he knows it. He knows everything. So I will tell you what I said to him, but some Muslims some Christians convert to Islam in America. Especially women, because of love and sex and all this stuff. That's what I'm telling you. In college, lots of young women got attracted to the Middle Eastern men, Muslims, and they got married to them. I know some of them. So But anyways, the story of this guy just let you know, so I don't like leave you with many questions. I prayed, and after we finished eating, I have a good standing with him, and I talked to him. And God gave me this question to him. That's God really, because I do not know it. I didn't know what should I tell him. I said, let me ask you a question. He said, go ahead. I said, does Islam give you what Christianity does not give you? Do you have more joy, more peace than when you were Christian? And believe me, his face got all the colors. He started to tremble with his tongue like he doesn't know what he say. He just started to bubbling like his word doesn't have any meaning. And he said, everyone has ups and downs, and I can't say like I'm perfect. And he doesn't give me any question. But I thank God, because I throw this question at him. He will think about it, and he will find, I'm sure, he will find that his God, the Muslim's God that he went to, will not fill his heart. So, yeah. Yes.
I was a few minutes late, so maybe you already covered this, but I was curious how you came to know Christ.
How do I? No, actually, I was not a Muslim. Yeah, I was born as a Christian in Catholic. In my family, see, like Egypt, as I said, we are between 12 to 15% Christian. I'm from this 12%. So my family are Christian, they are more Catholic, but I got saved in another church. But my point here, because thank you for asking this. Some people think that Christian, like in Egypt, is not easy way. I live in a Islamic community, Islamic country, Islamic environment. We have to study Quran in the school as a part of the curriculum. I have to memorize the Quranic verse. If I didn't do this, I will fail in the school. I have to obey the Quranic laws. I have. So my mind has some of the Quran. So even if I'm not a Muslim, but Quran sometimes it's in us. So we need time. Go to the church and just get rid of our Islams in our mind and just change. Because some Christian people, even by name, they beat their wives because this is kind of became a culture. We live in it. I saw my mom and my dad. I saw my grandpa and my grandma do this. I saw this and that. See my neighbors do this. So I thought this is the normal culture I live in. So we started to preach to the people now in Egypt. We say, hey, be careful. Yes, we live under Islam, but that's not us. Read your Bible. Something like this. Just an example. Do you have any questions? Okay, I will let you take your coffee. And they have good snacks. And thank you so much, and we'll meet with you what time, Pastor Ricardo, what time we'll meet?
I don't know, 10 minutes, 5 minutes from now. I'll give you 10 minutes, so 5 after. No. Wait, no.
Can I take like 15 minutes? That will be
15
okay?
minutes will be fine. Yep.
So I get rest too.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And so I think that God's really focusing because of that. These visions of dreams just so how can they do it otherwise? And so we grow up with it. And God went, yeah. And then the women too, it's just like
telling you.
Then to add the.
Does that look as clear to you as it did on the screen?
Yeah, it looks the same. When you change the center.
No, I just raised the screen.
Oh. Oh, I see, I see. You're just showing the
So I'm just showing it on the wall. So that looks as good as it did on the screen. So can't remove that.
There's one guy that was from Russia, who was in Russia, where there are a lot of Muslims coming into Russia, escaping refugees, same thing, already. But so he kind of has a focus on.
Yeah, I think France, Germany, they're not.
Based on shame, like, we don't like here, they don't do the same shame thing, like that they grow up with this shame thing, so it's
I'm married a northerner. That's the only thing that got me up here, love. Yeah. But I do get down there every year to thaw out that nice warm sun. Well, actually, let's see, we first moved to.
then you also have your
Oh, so you would know where that is. We're there, west of here. Lived there for many years. Then we moved to Canada, just there for 12 years. And now we're back on here. We went back south. Yeah.
I know, and that is so, so hard, and then Jesus, oh yeah, we know Jesus, oh yeah, we know God, yeah. I know. And then, other challenge, what we've been seeing in conversation, there are these cultural Muslims, they're not like, they're cultural kind of like, the cultural Catholics. And that's what I'm seeing a lot of. I mean, there's two groups. There's some that are really dedicated, like this one lady, ladies years ago, but for the most part, it seems like they're.
But you must have relatives there.
Like they're gonna not change. This is more like my culture, or I can't change this. It's almost like a heritage, like okay, you can't change it, you're Italian. It's what it seems almost like that they, well, I can't change this. This is just they seem to believe that's what I've sensed. Like they're just timeless. Like they don't really think about it. There's one person in my class last year. You could tell she was just like, she was more like a typical, she was kind of mature. She was more like a typical younger teenager. I'm free, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and like have fun. And even though she's like, I'm Muslim, family sounded really strict. Her grandfather was had a lot of money, I could sense. But lawyers, like lawyers, something higher than lawyers. She never got the right word, but it seemed like this is what she's going to say was she covered her hair. She didn't have the complete one, but she had the cover on. But she was like, I'm staying with this. I don't really think about it. It's just it wasn't really something that was religion.
Really their country. And the women in America are women belong to them.
So then you got to, I think it's the point you have to think about what's next in your life. Is there someone beyond you and what you want? It's here, like young people here. So it depends on, it seems like it depends on approach them. Because for her, it seemed like she was so into herself and what she wanted, it didn't really matter if it was Allah or God or Jesus that's your savior. You had to get her more to the point of, is there something beyond today? And what are you here for? That kind of thing. All
Sam?
Yeah, could
The
you bring,
cheese?
could you bring them out?
Yeah.
They're on the left
There's so many
side.
cookies out there.
All right, well,
I'll bring
someone might not want something sweet, that's why I made that. I do know there's some diabetics, you know, but I mean, if they want a snack and they can. Yeah, I know, I was thinking about that too. It's the same thing. One of my friend that's, I have a friend that's a Christian and her husband is Muslim. They started out just like some of these people we see at the NSL. They started out local, this is where so then the same thing, like, Jews, decided she was gonna bring this dog. I'm not gonna say anything. And they were kind of splitting apart because they didn't have a connection. And two of her kids were born again Christians. One is like, go to the mosque every day.
Yeah, there are a lot of them have questions, and I think there's time to like to explore that. And there's, you know, have some family around watching. Jake has a cousin who lives in the city, and they take it to the mall.
I think you really loved it, but she was I think it was Mrs. Dog. Yeah, I think it was more. Great about it.
Maybe the Valley House or the House House. That's known as
She was actually saying, the reason she got this house is she has to but then, here it says about doing good works and giving to charity and stuff. We have a signature thing. Every year they have this thing called share house. They go and do stuff in the community for the service.
when you recovered from her well.
Barely.
Yeah, Jake still hurt a little too. It's like, well, tomorrow you go again.
That was one big bruise, but I'm ready to go tomorrow.
I guess Kevin, Jake dropped Kevin a code, and Kevin said multiple times when they got there, "It's the best night of my life." His dad was like, really? Like, yeah. I know, right?
on top of the bridge. So if you start going down the hill, you just miss my driveway. Because it's right at the edge. Very nice. Ended up having some came down my driveway thinking that was to see overlook. And I was just getting off my snowshoes. And they're going, oh, there's this, I said, this is a private property. And I'm just, all these people, and I'm going, yeah, but you're gonna be trying to see what out 3 feet of snow. I just won't break through my snowshoe. I said, if you want to leave, I'll see you. I'll have to leave the dairy farm. You just happen to see us tonight. I'm looking for that. It's not the same. They're much lower. So, just very interesting that they have it around and I'm like, this is part of their property. Well, can you see the house? Yeah, I'm going, this is part of the property. I said, and there's 3 of you wanting them to keep it. And I said,
It's just Minnesota.
I said, I was kind of
Say that.
So I that I inadvertently said these people down.
So I thought I'm going.
They wanted it not this one, but I know that every so it takes about it.
I did not know that. So I was stopping by.
Someone texted me last night. Well,
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Were they like 3, not a couple, or just 3 people?
What did you say? Bigger than the top. And no, but I wasn't that nervous whenever that you just can't sing so this morning. So that's because I was trying to figure out that Jenny doesn't get older. You know, I've had people drive down my driveway and then turn around and drive right back, thinking that it was a road or something.
Yeah, probably down the side.
It's true, but when you drive down it, the first thing it does is make a turn. Because there's a dog that's there, so you can't see it.
Yeah, so
They want to keep your house.
I wanted to come to my house and take a look and see what it looks like. Because it looks so cute from the outside. And I'm like, no, this is private. I did write down like, the license plate number and they can write the car.
But 15 years I've been here now. Made it this far.
While we're waiting for another couple minutes to come back together, I wanted to let you know that we are recording this morning's broadcast. So what we would like to be able to do is it will be up on YouTube probably tomorrow afternoon, we'll have it up there, you can watch it then, it will stay up there, that's where we're archiving our live streams here. But we also wanted you to be able to have the opportunity to just use it at your,
YouTube or Facebook?
it's not gonna be on YouTube.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, yeah, Facebook takes ownership of everything you put on, so they not getting that. But the other thing we wanted you to be able to do is, once I process the recording, we will have it available for you on flash drives. What we're asking though is if you want it on a flash drive, if you want the whole seminar on a flash drive, we are asking you to help us compensate for the cost of that flash drive, so it's gonna be $5 for it. And if you're willing to do that, you can let me know and I'll just make or let Carly know, that doesn't be better, she's not shaking her head. Let her know, she'll make a list, and then when I get them all produced, we'll get them out for you. There's not gonna be a lot to watch them. I probably won't do them if you don't want them. So, but they'll be easy to produce if you do want them, so just let Carly know.
All right. I think you guys will be more awake after the coffee, right? Yeah. I really appreciate you guys coming here and listening to this seminar. It's, I know some of you, maybe it's out of your area and, you know, and snowing. If I were you, I would not come to the church. But really, thank you so much. I appreciate it. On the table, I have some about my ministry. I have this magazine, this, like anybody can figure out, it's a free magazine. It has my ministry, what I do in Egypt and the Middle East. Tomorrow, if you will come to the church, I will show you more work that we're doing in the Carthage area with the refugees and the Muslims and the persecuted church. I have a video for my visit to 21 family that beheaded by ISIS 2-3 years ago. I went and visit them. So I will have lots of information about what I'm doing tomorrow. But you can just have this, so you can pray for us. We need lots of prayer. It's not that safe place, still, it's hard. Yes, I go there, I'm so happy to do the ministry, but we always need to be supported with prayer. And on the other side, I have some stuff outside from Egypt. This is made from the original papyrus, some pictures and some stuff, and like bookmark, the same thing, and stuff like this. I just put outside some suggested donation, but if you wanna pay less, more, pay more, that's good. I'm just kidding. But that will help the ministry if you can. That will be great. Also, this one you can have it with the prayer card. You can pray for us and some information also. It's free. You can pick one too. And ask Carly maybe while I'm talking. She give you mailing address. If you would like to have your information, so we would love to update you with what we're doing. Either email address or by mail. It's up to you. We send one monthly by email, if you would like to read, sometimes every 2 months. Just what we're doing, my travel. Every time I go to Egypt, I come back with news, I share the people. All what we need is just to pray for us. Just give us what we're doing. And then if you have any question later about this, you'll be in the situation, your son, your daughter in a situation you need to ask, just feel free to email me. So if you would like to fill your information the way you would love to, that will be great for us. It's something will encourage us. While I'm talking here, I'm talking about know your culture. And this is funny part, but it's good and very important. Now, for us as Middle Eastern people, culture for us is very important. If you do not respect my culture, I wouldn't hear any word about Jesus. I don't need to. You have to put this in your mind. So don't try to act different and then you share with him the gospel and say, hey, he doesn't want to hear to me. Well, you have to know some of the culture. I'm not saying it change your American culture. I'm not saying that. But for the sake of the gospel, try to, in that moment when you meet with the Muslims, try to act in a way to make him love Jesus. That's my point. And like I said, if like the Bayside Church in that I told you about in Wisconsin, and they have, if you guys invite international students or do dinner for people, whatever, okay, when you come and talk to them and just deal with them with the culture, they are your guests. Act the way they like, just for the gospel of Jesus, and then they will leave. You just live your normal life. So why I'm saying this a lot? Because culture is very, 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 very important for them. So number one, respect their customs and their sensibility. Respect their customs. When I take groups to Egypt, and I wish you guys decide this, I can take you to Egypt. It's safe, it's not risky. So, respect the culture. When I take groups to Egypt, some people ask me like, why do they do this? Why? Well, coming to the culture, you cannot ask why. This is the way it is. This is the culture, So respect it. Like, why act like this? Why, you don't ask why. Look them down. I have this example I like it to mention every time. You guys here in America, you eat rice with a fork, right? In Egypt, the Middle East, they eat rice with a spoon. In the Chinese, they eat rice with what's called the steak? Chopsticks. In India, they eat rice with their hands. They make they have the plates, and they make like this way, and make like a bowl, and put it in their mouth, and eat it. So we are all eat rice. All of us eat rice, but different way. The other people look at the American and say, how do you put the rice in the fork? Well, the rice will drop off from the fork. No, it doesn't. Other people look at the Middle East and eat the rice with a big spoon. How do you put all this big spoon in your mouth? It's big, But we do. And with the Chinese people, I would say 1 year to pick one rice with this chopstick. I don't know how to eat with it. It's very hard. Very hard, But we look at them like, how do you get the rice with this small? Well, they do. And we look at the Indian people like do this with their hands, and maybe this for us, like kind of like disgusting or something like this. But they do. So different ways. But again, by the end we eat rice. All of us eat rice. So I have to respect everyone, the way they eat, the way they live. So we have to respect their culture and their sensibility. Handle the Bible in a respectful way. Never put in the floor or put another way. Now, if we invite people to come here, if we invite people to come here in our church, Muslims, and I have the Bible here in my hand, well, it doesn't work if I'm sitting here and put the Bible on the floor like this. That's for them, that's the holy book. So you do not respect God. Well, you and I understand this is a paper, just paper. The Bible is not in the paper, but it's just a book. It's a paper, For them, this is the holy book. So you cannot do this. And by your leg, by your foot, that's disrespectful. That you don't respect God. If you do not respect your God, your Bible, how do you want me to respect your God? Or for example, like if I put the Bible right here, in the table, and just I don't know to put my phone over the Bible. That's unacceptable. So I have to handle the Bible, in a very respectful way. Sometimes they kiss the Quran, like they do like this. They have the Quran, they make like this. Now, again and again, when I say like, let us do like this in front of them when they come here, let's do that. Or if you meet with somebody in any coffee shop, you just somebody Muslim say, I want to ask you some question about Jesus. Why don't we meet like in coffee shop? And you go and meet with him or comes to your home, whatever. When you deal with the Bible, please be careful when you deal with the Bible. And don't like, hey, read the Bible. You can read this. Hey, if you want to see the Bible, see it. Don't do this. And so that's number one, to handle the Bible in a respectful way, and don't put it on the floor or on the something in the towel. Number two, don't cross your lips so that the bottom of your shoe faces them, for it means you are despising them. You know? Now I'm sitting here, and the other Muslim guy is sitting like this, here, and I make like this. And my shoe is looking at me. Well, for us here is okay. I mean, I can sit I sit wherever I want to. You know, it's not about I don't respect you, but this is the way you sit. For them, when you see like me, like sitting like this and listen, Jesus loves you. You know, he doesn't love you. You know? So that's for them disrespect. You know? I had a guy one time. He's a dear friend to me until now. He's like my brother. And he was sitting. I went to his office and I was sitting with him, and he's sitting in the office in the chair, and he just worked pen, and he put his leg on the table, you know, and he talked to me. Well, I understand the culture, you know, but for Muslims, that's unacceptable. Unacceptable. It means you look him down, put him down, like, you know. So do not do this. I used to teach about mission, and in mission we have different words, we have different meaning. So when I say respect, when I ask you what does respect mean as American mentality, you will say respect means to listen to you, to pay attention to you. I'm right? Well, that's not respect for me as Middle Eastern man. Respect for me, the meaning means is a facial action. What does it mean? Like sitting like this way, that's disrespect. Or walking, you know, in behind of an old man. So it's act. The respect for me as Middle Eastern is a act. When you act something, then if you're respecting me or not. So when you cross your legs like this, that's an act. That's disrespectful for me. So that's when I say respect. That means you have to do some stuff to show me that you respect me. It's not about you listening to me or pay attention. No. It's about how you act. So number 3. Do not refuse their hospitality, and don't forget to give it back. I will assume that some of the students, Pastor told me like some of the students come here, you know, I mean, or you meet a Muslim, okay? And as I said, they you know, invite you, he rent an apartment here, and he said, you know, come just to my home and just have tea together. Do not say no, you know. Don't be scared. He's not gonna kill you. You know, don't be scared, please. You can take someone with you, but go. Do not refuse their hospitality. If he brought some dessert for you, some Middle Eastern dessert, to say no. He doesn't put poison in the dessert, by the way. You know, it's kind of the Middle Eastern people is famous of hospitality. They are poor people, but if you go to their home, that's the way of show his generosity. You know, again, it's act. He brings all the food he has, even he has nothing. He will bring everything. It's hospitality. He wants to give you this and brought this and lots of food and, you know, like lots of, that's the way hospitality is. So do not refuse his his hospitality, and do not forget to return it back. If he brought something to you, try after a while to bring something back to him. Because if you don't do this, he will think like, oh my gosh, you just take my stuff and you never even think to act the same like me. You don't do this once, like he brought a pan full of cake or Egyptian dessert or Middle Eastern dessert and you return it back with something. No, don't do this. Thank him, return the pan empty, thank him, but maybe in a week or two say, I have some cookies for you, I can just give you. So that's very, very important. Very, very, very important. Don't refuse his hospitality. Because if you refuse his hospitality, that means you refuse him. That's his mentality. And again, this is the way it is. Don't be too free with opposite sex. This is offensive to them. Now, I met with a man and a woman, okay? And because I understand that, sometimes I shake hands with the man, but coming to his wife, I do like this. Say hi. I do not do this. Because it's for them, it's not allowed for women to handshake with a man. So, because I'm gonna touch your hand. So that's not allowed. That's in general. That's in the Middle East. I cannot handshake with a woman. Now, here in America, because they understand the culture, so sometimes if a woman, she started to shake hand like she did like this, then I shake her hand. If not, as I told you, say, hi husband, hi wife, like this way. So with that saying, don't be free with the other sex. What does it mean? Well, he has his wife, and then I say, hey, what about you? Where do you work? And start to joke and laugh with her and talk to her. No. If you are a man, do not do that. Never. Talk to men all the time. And if you want to talk to the wife, talk to the man, to the wife through the man. Okay, how many kids do they have? You know, what is their age? If she comes in the discussion, that's okay. But if not, don't ask the husband, hey, where do you work? What about you? Where do you live? What about, don't do this, you know? Or don't talk to the wife all the time. Never, you don't do this. That will make him very, very mad. Honor the elders, people of a higher position by standing up. Honor the elders and the people of higher position by standing up. If you're young and you see an old man, aged man, for us in the Middle East we have to honor this aged man. How to honor him? Like if I'm sitting down, or let me start with so I can put two things together. Or the higher position. What does that mean, the higher position? Meaning the pastor. Meaning like if somebody like he's like my boss, something like this. So it doesn't work. I'm sitting like this way, and my pastor, he is maybe 70, come to me and talk to me, and I say, yes, pastor, yes, and talk to him like this way. No, I have to stand up and talk to him. If we go out of this place, and, you know, in the door, I have to let him go first. You know, but I can't like go like this and just leave him. An old, you know, aged man or higher position. And it doesn't work even, but here it's very known because we're in America, but I'm talking about the Middle East, I'm just giving you the whole information. We cannot call them by their names. I cannot call Pastor Dale like Dale. Can you come here, please? I cannot say that. I have to say pastor. I have to say doctor. I have to give titles to the people, especially if I am younger than them. Even my kids, they have to call my brother like my uncle. You know, they can, they can't say like his name just straightforward. But they have to say title to the people. So when we bring people here, yes, we can call them their names, that's okay. Because I do not know if they are doctors or whatever, you know. But at the same time, try to honor especially the aged people. So if you see somebody's aged and, getting out of the car, go help him. Let him go first in the church, in front of you. Bring him food. Take the plate in front of him. That way he will see something different in you. Okay? So that's very important. Avoid serving pork or alcohol. You know that. Because pork for them is a sin. So don't make a dinner for a Muslim and say, hey, I did very good pork here. You will not eat. But sometimes, I'm saying everything, but you don't have to follow everything. Like for me, when I invite those people, I told him I bought halal meat. Halal is an Arabic word, means, I don't know the English word means. It's like kosher, yeah, like kosher, exactly. Yeah, you're right, thank you. It's like kosher with the Jewish people, yeah, Muslims call it halal. So the way they slaughter the chicken was halal, the things like that. So I told my friend, I said, listen, by the way, halal food is very expensive because it's done by a specific way. So anyway, I told him, you know what, I bought the chicken and the meat and everything is halal, so just go ahead and eat. He said, that's okay. But anyways, but at least you don't have to go to buy halal meat because maybe even you don't find places here to sell halal meat, but at least do not do ham or any kind of pork. Or do not do it and put in front of him and say, I know that you don't eat, you don't have to eat, I'm gonna eat it. Do not put in the table, at all. Okay? So that's very important. Or alcoholic, don't put any wine, any beer at all, and in their table. So before I go to the other stuff, so this is some of the ways of the culture, something. Of course, culture, it's culture. You have lots of things to say, but these little things can make you build bridges to them. Any question about culture? Yes, Pastor.
The experience that I had last summer, it was very often there was a young single woman, Muslim woman, who was out, a student worker, who was often out with friends, and I don't know what country she was from, but her friends were Latin American. And my question was, I felt comfortable speaking to the Latin Americans, but as a married man in particular, I didn't feel comfortable speaking to the Muslim student. But then I felt really awkward ignoring her. And so I never did quite figure out what a good protocol was. So what do you suggest?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Well, as American, we think that we ignore her. That's in our mind. Like, I don't talk to her at all. She may be no. If she has a man, they will not think this way, but they think that you respect their culture. And but in some cases, like if she gets in the discussion, or if she was by herself without her husband or her brother, it's okay to talk to her. If they are a group of people, like 5 men, whatever, men or husbands or brothers or friends, and 5 women, so you can talk in general with the woman. But they don't think that you neglect her at all. You said that they are from where?
I didn't know what country she was from. Did you? From Turkey? Okay.
From where?
Turkey.
Oh no, Turkey. No. Turkey is very strict with religion. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I like to use my cell phone app for the Bible. How would they react to that?
Yeah, thank you. That's really a very good point. Sometimes yes, but it's better to use your book, your Bible. But with the technology now, we can say, because they started to have Quran in the phone, so the Muslims started to have the Quran here. So he said, you know what? I wish I have a Bible, but I download the app of the Bible here, and let me just read with you this. And thank you for the question, because it reminds me also, we'll talk about this later, but with that, you can, in indirect way, to help him how he can download the Bible, how he can download Jesus film in his phone. And that's a good way to preach him. Yeah. Any question about culture? Yes, ma'am.
So, a woman then would not approach a man to initiate conversation.
If she is with her husband, I don't think she's gonna cook. But if she alone, I think she could do that. In America here, but in the Middle East, no. You know, I visited a Muslim one time at his home, and for some reason he has his wife and his kids, and he said, Ashraf, you just give me like 3 minutes. I'm gonna go pick something outside and come back, because I understand the culture. From one side, he's kind of shy to tell me, come with me, because if he said that, it means that he doesn't trust me with his wife. If he leaves me, that's not the way, he's not really feel comfortable. So I said, no, I will come with you. He said, no, you can stay, it's okay, she's your sister. I said, no, I will come with you. And I insist, of course, and I went with him, although it's 2 minutes or 3 minutes. But I will not be at home with his wife, and she has 3 old kids, but still, I will not do that. So this is kind of like sensitive stuff. I have to take care about it. Yes, sir. Yes.
Louder,
Chuck, use your outside voice.
If we're invited into a Muslim's family home and they have children, is there anything that we should do or should not do with respect to speaking with the children? Some of us, like me, talk too much and we see children and we say things. So what with respect to children should we observe?
Well, number one, if you, that's a good question because it has some sensitive stuff. Number one, be generous with his kids. If you bring lots of chocolate and candies and toys and give it to them, they will appreciate this very, very, very much. If they are boys, it's okay to deal with them, but don't have their kids in your lap or all this stuff. Don't do this, but just try to have a little distance with them. If they are girls, still be careful. Even they are children. So you can give them the candy, they'll give them that, but hugging or kissing or this with the daughters, no, that's not acceptable at all. So with the boys, it's okay a little bit. Yeah, yes, sir.
I'm following up on Dale's question. What the situation that we're going to have here, I think Carly's tried to explain, is we have a lot of young Muslim workers. So, for example, let's say there'll be 5 people from Turkey, 2 girls, 3 boys, early 20s. They're working at the hotels or the restaurants, and they come and we interact with them. So they're not married, they don't have a husband. Unlikely that they're older brothers with them, but they will be here with other Muslim men. So if we're in a situation, say here in the church, and we have 5 Muslims, 2 young men, 2 young women, is there any particular way we need to interact with those women?
Yeah.
Or should not interact?
That's a good question. Well, if you are at work, so you deal with them, it's a business place in America. So talk to them, deal with them normal, it's a business in America. But in Egypt, even in the business, we have to be careful. I don't deal with them very freely, because it's easy to say hey, Ashraf trying to flatter me, Ashraf trying to touch me, stuff like that. So we always stay away from them. But if they come to the church and, like you said, they are not married, no, you go ahead, talk to them. Normal, very normal. The only problem is that their husband. That's the only problem. But if they don't have husband, if they're single, young, she came without her husband, anything, just talk normal, deal with them normal to some extent too, because in their mind, like don't be very much, free with them, like they don't accept hugs, even from a side like this. But deal with them in a nice way, joke, just talk to them, as a woman, just very friendly, give her gifts, stuff like that. But yeah, you can talk normal with them. Any question? Yes, ma'am.
As a woman, is it okay, like, if we go into their home, is it okay for us to talk freely to the wife and to the female children?
As a man to the wife,
If
for you,
say my
as a
husband
woman.
and I go, is it he talks to the husband, can I talk to the wife and the female
Oh, yeah.
children?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can talk to the wife and you can talk to the husband freely. The only problem is a man talk to a wife. But again, husband has the right to do everything, but women not. So you can talk to the husband, just talk and joke and everything, that will be okay with him. All right. I will speak a little bit more about the culture, how to approach them, and that's the most important thing. That's the seminar, because how to their approach. Number one, show them the love of Jesus. Show them the love. That's number one. I'm gonna take time with that, but the other thing we're gonna just go quickly. The Quran has 99 names for God, their God. 99 names for God. Like God, the Almighty God, powerful God, and etc. 99 names. None of them, God is love. So the word of love has nothing with them. One time I had a ministry in Jordan, so we do like kind of survey. So we went to the street, we have 10 questions. Like, what's your name? Are you married? What's the name of the kids? What's the job? Stuff like that. 9 questions. The last question, number 10. Do you know that God loves you? And from here we start the conversation. Most of them, the majority, like 99% of people we met as a group, they just look at me and say like, God loves me. What does it mean? How it comes God, the Almighty God loves somebody like me? Why? They don't have the mentality of love. So when you show that love, that's very important thing. Now my question, your question, how do I show the love? Anything. It's up to you. Anything. Maybe you have somebody came and he doesn't know English, wants to learn English. I'm gonna come twice a day. You can come to my home, I can come to your home, I'm gonna teach you some English. Somebody, you saw him just stuck in this wonderful snow. Go help him, Somebody, your neighbor, he has his birthday for, go. Somebody, his son is sick. I'm gonna pray for you. Show your love the way you can. It depends upon you, upon the culture you live in, about the city, the situation. It doesn't have categories. But show your love. Love, 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 even without mentioning anything about Jesus. That will touch him. Listen, great percentage of Muslims, the first word you said, you know what, I went this place, I met this Christian, he did this for me, I don't know why he did that. And they start to think about Jesus. So don't talk about Jesus from the first time. This picture, I don't know if it's clear or not, but that's me. I don't know why I'm black here, but I changed it to tan. So anyway, this is an Arabic store in Orlando. Okay? In Ramadan, the month of fasting, they usually have some Islamic decoration and lantern. So I was about to go to Egypt, and the owner of this store told me like, if I can bring some decoration because of Ramadan. She's a Muslim with a veil. I told her I'm gonna do this. So I went to Egypt and I bought lots of decoration like this one. All this. It's just like big line. I brought a lot for her. I brought 2 big lanterns. That's Ramadan thing. not because I believe in Ramadan, or, but I just want to show her the love. So, and then I went to her before Ramadan, I gave her a big box of stuff. She offered to give me money, I completely refused. Listen, the point is, $10, $15, $20 will not make me rich or poor, but I'm gonna win a soul to Jesus, So that's okay, I said that's okay, that's a gift for you. Don't think about it, I'm not gonna take any penny. I carry all this on my back from Egypt to here. I went and gave it to her. Big change. She knows me by Pastor Ashraf when she calls me, and we have good relationship. Still talking to her and show her more love. But this is what I'm saying, I know you will not do this, but I'm just giving you an example about show them the love of Jesus. And as I said, the love of Jesus can overcome and reach their hearts. And as I said, Muslims have 99 names of God, but none of them is love. And that's me. Why? Because their gods almost do this, don't do this is a sin, you're good. That's the way they live it. But when you love, that's something different. Number one, to reach Muslim, get ready. You have to have like my brother here said, when you have some people coming here, or pastor told me about the students coming here, you have to be ready. Get an English translation of the Quran. This is one of the tricky stuff. Go to Amazon, order the cheapest English Quran, and read some parts. Read like page 2, 3 pages, it's okay. And tell your Muslim friend that you have read his Holy Bible. You understand that you not read the whole book. Now, when do you read yours? This is one of the ways to reach Muslims. Buy from Amazon English Quran, read some verses, any pages, and say, you know what? I have a Quran, I read some of it. So, did you? Yes, that's the Quran, I did that. Or if he doesn't, if you meet him outside, yes, I have one at home. If you come to my home, I'm going to show it to you. Really? When did you do this? I did this last year. And did you read? Yes, I read some pages. What do you think? Well, it's good. I like some teaching. And then, would you like to have my Bible? 100% he said, yes, please. See, now when I'm talking about reaching Muslim, I'm not talking to you about study Islam and go on and preach. I'm not saying this. It's a very normal thing, right? Very simple ways. Show your love. Easy. Show your love in ways to anyone. Number 2, get the Quran, give him the Bible. Can you do this? All of us can do this. It's easy. Okay.
Before you go on, Ashraf,
Yes.
is it for us? If we were gonna pass off, share a Bible with a Muslim acquaintance, should that Bible be in English or in Arabic?
Well, that's a good question. I usually help the churches if you ask to. I can send for you some Arabic stuff, Arabic Bibles. And thank you for this question because you opened me to think about something I forget to tell you. We do not give Muslim the whole Bible. Never ever do this. Give him the New Testament only. New Testament Bible only. Don't give him the Old Testament. So he will not understand, and it's hard for him. It's a long story, but give him the New Testament. So it's better to give him his language, of course. So I know you guys have here some people from Turkey, from this and that, but Arabic is the most languages spoken in the Middle East, so the majority will be Arabic speakers. The second thing, that Quran has to be read in Arabic, so they have to know Arabic, even they are from Turkey or Iran. I'm talking about the majority. So they have to read the Quran in Arabic. So that's why the majority knows Arabic. So if you need Bible in Arabic, I can help you with that. Jesus film, other Christian tracts, any kind of like small tracts. So that's good. Some of the people that grow up here, and you can give him English, but you have to be sure that he understands English very well. But if not, I prefer to give him, of course, his language. if you guys like, I hope that will be a good start for you to add the ministry to your ministries here, Pastor, in your church. When in that case, you guys can start get like 10 Arabic Bibles, get like 10 Arabic, 10 Farsi from to Iran's people Bible, like different languages from the Middle East. You know, it will be like maybe 2-3 languages. Like the only Arabic is the majority, then Farsi for the Iranian, then what else? Turkey people, Turkish. So that's, I think, 3 language per language. So you can have like 10 from each or 15, 20 from each, and they will just eat in the church. Whenever you do some event, you can just give it to them. But yeah, that's a good question. Yes, sir.
We were told, as you have told us, to only give our Muslim friends the New Testament. We were also told that it was better to have the New Testament that just had the 4 Gospels, not the Acts of the Apostles and all of that. And then I think we progressed to the point where we just give the Gospel of John. Do those thoughts still hold today? Because what I'm telling you is long, long ago. Would the best thing to me is just give them the Gospel of John?
Well, I mean,
in other words, not give them the Acts. In other words, if you give them a New Testament, only the 4 Gospels of the witnesses of Jesus. Because, again, it was the witnesses of Muhammad that wrote many of the things we see in the Quran and the other books. And so, it's just the witnesses of Jesus, okay?
Yeah.
So this again, the best witness of Jesus was thought to be the Gospel of John.
Well, yes, what you're saying is right. But for example, when I visit that Muslim at his home, I give him the New Testament. But before I leave, I told him, please, can you read from Book of John, start from the Book of John? And in the second day, at 8 o'clock in the morning, he texted me and say, Ashraf, I started to read from the Book of John. And that's good. It's okay, I mean, it's good, but at the same time, it's good to have the 4 Gospels, because some of them start with John, and he wants to read more. So yes, it is good, because you make him come back to you again and say, hey, I read Book of John, do you have more books? He said, yeah, come on, there's more books, what do you learn from? So it's a tricky way that you make him come again. But if he comes here for like a week and you meet with him and you're gonna meet with him anymore, well, give him the New Testament, because God will deal with him. Yes, he will understand the 4 Gospels, of course, because the writings of Paul and the others kind of be like hard a little bit, but at least reads the 4 Gospels. That will be more beneficial. Somebody was raising his hand here? Yeah.
Oh, I had just wondered, like in Arabic, are there different translations, are different versions like we have in English, or is there just one version at this time?
Yeah, that's a good question. 5 years ago, we have only one version only. And for some reason, like in the last 5 years, we start to have 3 versions or 4. But the one we order, like that, is like King James here, it's called Van Dyke translation. So I can be in contact with the pastor and give him all information about books you can buy and get. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I said that, right? Okay. Pray for them every day. That's very important. See, it's not by our wisdom, it's by God, the Holy Spirit. Now, spend 10 hours with him just to try to explain for him the Trinity. No way. It just needs the Holy Spirit to enlighten his eyes. So pray. Winning Muslims sold to Jesus, oh my gosh, you feel so happy, very happy. More even than talk to a Christian. One of the things we're doing, as I said, we go to UCF, we have a group, this is my wife here, and we have a group of people. He's from Dubai, Egyptian, but lives in Dubai. So that's lady what I told you about. She's converted to Christianity. She accepted Jesus when she was here, as I told you. And then her husband accepted Jesus. Now they moved to Virginia. So anyways, we went to the college. We have Jesus film, Bibles, etc. We give them and we talk to them. Easy. It's not that hard. I know guys have lots of snow, but sometimes you can do table outside, invite people to come, have, bottle of juice or something with Bible, say like free gifts. Keep in mind, don't argue, never debates. A man convicted against his will remains unconvicted still. An argument when is a soulless. See, I have been in the ministry for more than 30 years. I never ever get an argument with a Muslim. Don't waste your time. Your Muhammad is wrong because he did this and Jesus is, well, we're not fighting. I'm giving the truth about Jesus Christ. So don't get in debate with him. Well, why do you think about our Bible is corrupted? Your Muhammads do not go in debate. And I'm sorry to say that, but you will not even be able to go in debate with a Muslim because you don't have the whole information. So even if he just, when he asks you, he wants to know the answer. So give him the answer. Now, coming to the debate, avoid it. You will not win. Never denigrate Muhammad, the Quran, Muslim countries. Don't put like, oh guys, why you're killing Christian? Tell me why you're burning the churches in Egypt. Don't say that. Why Muhammad married, by the way, Muhammad married an old lady, her name is Khadija, as I told you about, 25 years older than him. And he married a 9 years old child, and he was 54. And it is said that because she's a child, so he kept her at his home until she became adult, and he started to deal with her as a wife. But who knows when he married 9 years old and he's 50 something. The third marriage of his marriages, he married his daughter-in-law. He went to his home, his son, and he saw her change her clothes, so he likes her, and he cannot tell his son anything. So on the second day, he went to his son and told him, you know what? God told me to marry your wife. And of course, Prophet Muhammad, God told you do this? Yes. And he came with a verse. And then, of course, you're the Prophet. I will not, prevent you to marry my wife. So he divorced his wife, which is, as I said, daughter-in-law, and he married her. That's the history of Muhammad, by the way, just let you know. So what I'm saying is that, don't say like, come on, why Muhammad married 9 years old age, that abuses a child. Do not put Muhammad or the Quran down at all. Don't even mention this stuff. You may mention it as a question, but in a serious question, not like, tell me, why Muhammad married 9, don't do that like this way. Questions? Keep going. Now, explain true Christianity. That's the point. Now, people come here, talk about how Jesus changed your life. Talk about the peace you have, the joy you have. Talk about Jesus. Talk about the true Christianity. Period. He will be affected with your word. That's great impact on him. I'm going to hear you talk about the change that happened in your life. I used to be a drunkard, I used to be like this, and I tried many times, and I just dealing with my wife in a bad way, and I was like this and that, and one day I came to the church, I heard the message from pastor, and I got saved, and it changed. I never since then, I never drink, I never smoke, I never. Really? How did this happen? Well, I tried many times, as I told you, but it's Jesus. Jesus can do this for your life? Yes, and He can do this with you too. Do you have any other problems in your life? Yes, I have lots. Well, Jesus can help you. Well, then tell me about Jesus. See? That's the conversation to go with Him. For example, I'm just giving you examples. Why I'm giving you examples? Not just to show you what I'm doing. That's not the point. My point is, if I can do this, you can do this. It's not because I'm Egyptian with a tan color. No, you can do this. Believe me, I'm going to show you here. We went to a mosque. We met with the sheikh, and I took a group of people, white American people. Some of them are blonde. And guess what? They're still alive. You know? And we went, we stayed, we attended a prayer meeting, prayer service with them on Friday. And after that, we went and meet with the sheikh. And we talked to him about Jesus Christ, about crucifixion. We talked with him, and he invited us for lunch after the Friday service. Then this guy here, you can see women with a veil. If you can see them, some of them without veil, but they are Muslims. This is very strange. The owner of this house, he is a Muslim. He is a very active Muslim with a mosque next to his home. That's in Florida, but I don't know what, it's not in Orlando. I can't remember which city. He invited us for Christmas party. He, the Muslim guys, invited us for a Christmas party. And he invited Muslims and the Christian. Of course we went there. I want to just mention two things very quickly. There was like 3 college students, ladies. They are the same age of my daughters, you know. So I just standing like them, they came to me. And they said, hey, you're Egyptian, we never met an Egyptian before, and, you know, where are you from? Egypt? Talk to them. And that guy doesn't like me standing and talk to them. Listen, they're like my daughters, the same age of my daughters. I have my wife with me. I did this in front of all these people. I just standing like this. They came to me to talk to me. But once I just talk to them, I understand that. But the guy came and say, hey Ashraf, can I just talk to you for a minute? I said, yes, of course. So I said, excuse me. And I went and sit with him in another room. And we sit exactly like 15 seconds. And say, Ashraf, I have to go to do something. I said, that's fine, I'm gonna come back to you. He said, okay. And he left me for like 30 minutes. He didn't come back. And I understand what did he do this, you know, but I'm just telling you just by stories. But then we were here, we shared, we talked about Jesus, you know, it was very good. We built a relationship, we got their contact and stuff like that. Find the opportunities. Pray with them, seek a child, over meals, etc. I have my friend that I told you about, invite him to my home. I said, listen, we usually as Christians pray before the meals. Would you mind me to pray? He said, no, go ahead, pray. I pray the Christian prayer in the name of Jesus, amen. That's what I did. Now, if his son is sick, or his daughter, and you told him, you know what, I'm going to come to pray for your son. What do you think? He's going to say, no, let my son die and he will not come to pray? Of course not. He said, please come and pray. This is a very good opportunity. Go by yourself, go take your wife, go take the pastor, whatever the situation is, and pray in the name of Jesus. Don't be scared. And I hope God will answer your prayer and he healed. And in the second day, ask him, I said, the Father will tell you, yes, he got healed. Say, praise the Lord. So find the opportunities, you know, good opportunities. Number 2, invite them to the church. Please, please, please do the other, like the other church I told you, the Bayside Church, David Tanelos here. They do it. Do dinner night, international snack night, whatever, and let them bring their dishes with them. And bring, even if you have 10, 20 people, that's wonderful. We have wonderful place, wonderful church, wonderful place outside for kitchen and stuff. Just talk to them, just, have on the table, like I did outside, put your Bible, Jesus film, say, guys, this is free, everything is free here, Bibles, tracts, take whatever you want, and bring him here. And if you got one more step, if you guys have a table like ping pong or stuff like this, say, we'll have a sport night, they will come, will be very, very happy. And by the way, we do this several times in Orlando. And look for an opportunity like Thursday, Christmas, their feast. If they are here and there is a Ramadan, whatever feast for them, say, hey, happy feast today, happy Ramadan day, whatever. Share with them. If you know Thursdays, I have a, let me see, okay. I'm not sure maybe coming later or not, but let me say it now. Middle Eastern people, the Muslims, appreciate the gift very, very much. Very much. Let me tell you one of the examples. In the 4th of July, we have a bag with everything like 4th of July, the American flag, stuff like this. We put Bible, we put Jesus film, some thread, some gift paper and stuff, and we go to, there is a lake, it's called Lake Yola, very famous in Orlando. People gather on 4th of July for fireworks and stuff like that. And we go, you're from Florida, you know that. Yeah. How can you survive here? So anyways, we go, and when we give them the bags, I don't say, here's the Bible. No. I say, I have a gift for you. Really? Yes. Take it. Any Middle Eastern Muslims, they never, never refuse your gift. That's so shy, they will feel shy to you. You will not. This is against his culture. If you give him a gift and tell him like, this is a gift for you, he has to take it. He likes it, he doesn't like it, but because you mentioned the word gift, I give you the key now, okay? So this is the gift. I don't mind if you want to give me a gift, by the way. I'm just kidding. So that's for them when you take the opportunity to give them a gift on Thursday or Christmas. It's practical. You teach English, offer advice. As I told you, they need any help. Somebody came here, he doesn't know where can he go, I asked Carly yesterday, my wife liked the wild rice. I told her, where I get wild rice? Wild rice. So, but anyway, so he may ask about, grocery store, stuff like that. Help him. Take him with your car. Say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna pick you up from your home and take you. That is big for him. Big. And I'm sorry, don't take me wrong. I'm so sorry. If you pay your gas, if you pay like $5, $10 to win a man to Christ, it's okay. We guys pay money for unnecessary stuff, So it's okay. If he went to the what's it called, Franklin shop, right? So he wants to buy like me a wild rice, and you just pay for him like $5 or stuff like that. It's okay, but he will be appreciated your $5, not because the $5, but you buy something for me, he will appreciate it as a Muslim. As a Muslim, he will really, really appreciate your gift. If you want to coffee shop here, I don't know how many coffee shop you have, and you pay for his coffee, he will be very appreciated to that. So please, just in Orlando, when I say like, if you pay like $3, $4 for McDonald's, it's okay, but he will be appreciated very much. So this is one of the guy who went to his home, and this is the New Testament, and he started to talk. When I talked to him, I started to ask him, but that's me because I know the Quran and stuff like this. So I started to ask him some question about his religion. They have a feast called Eid al-Adha. Al-Adha, they brought sheep, like the Old Testament, and slaughtered it and let the blood. So I said, why you do this? Well, we understand we did this in the Old Testament, for Jesus Christ in the New Testament. So I asked Muhammad, why you bring sheep and slaughter and let the blood on the floor. Why do you do this? He said, you know what, I never thought about it. He said that. He's a Muslim. And he said, I do not know. And I started to talk to him and I say, you know what, just wait a minute. And he went inside, brought his notebook to write everything I tell him. This is the story I told you about. I invited him, his wife, with a veil, his 2 kids, and this lady converted from Islam to Christianity. This is the story about. We invite him for dinner, and my wife is the best cook, by the way. So I can let her do Middle Eastern food for you if you want to. So we stayed in a table, we talked. I'm not exaggerate. We stayed here 5 hours. And she shared with them how did she see Jesus in a dream. And that lady started to ask her question like I told you. You know, I have the same question. Why we as women have that kind of words about us in the Quran? Why they deal with us like this? Why Muhammad say this about us? So anyway, and as I told you, this guy, you know, he called me in the morning and he started to read. They are from Iraq. So it was very, very good time. So again, you can invite them to your place. That's the one I told you, blonde here. Do you see blonde? And blonde here? And Muslim, and she's Muslim. She's converted. He's converted. His wife is American. She's converted. So we went to the Arabic church. And, you know, again, we had wonderful time together. This lady, I asked her, what's your job? Listen to this, please pay attention. She told me I am the mission director of the mosque in downtown. That's exact word she told me. So they have mission. They're doing evangelism for them. So, but she came, you know, and she's a Muslim too. And we have good time in the church. They don't refuse American or something. And we have this table like outside table and we have dinner, we talk and, you know, they attend the church. It's a Baptist church. They're sitting here, I preach. They listen to my preaching. I preach normal like Christian. I don't say like Isa or no, I preach like Christian, normal preaching, and then we have dinner for a very good time. This is the guy I told you about. I don't want to repeat myself. That's in the table, my wife and myself in Ramadan, and this is the guy who was the worship leader in his church and converted to Islam. You notice this dress and his beard, that's not normal Muslim. That's kind of like sheikh, you know, and this is head. So I talked to him and this is the conversation. You know, I'm respecting him, we joke together and laugh together, but that's at the time when I asked him if he feel more happy if he accepted Jesus Christ. This is very dangerous here. This is the same one. But they have like 3 people, they fluent in English. Fluent, like people were born here in America. They speak English wonderful, like you guys. And they talked about Islam. And they have lots of Christian. It's kind of like evangelism, you know. Anyway, there's many stories, but anyway, because of the time, encourage them to read the Bible. Tell them, like, you know, your Bible is so you believe that God died on the cross. You say, you know, did you read the Bible? He said, no, why not? You're educated, you live in America, just read it. Just read for your information. You read many books, any other books, consider it just a book and read the book. Encourage him to read the Bible. Many people, I heard lots of stories about people start to read the Bible to criticize the Bible. And once they start, they accept Jesus as their Savior. So let them just read the Bible. Follow up, never give up. Listen to me. Muslims is not like a Christian. Like me or the pastor or any one of you can come and say, hey, you're sinner, blah, blah, blah. Do you accept Jesus as your Savior? Yes. Please, let's pray. Pray. Congratulations, you're newborn today. Well, Muslims not like that. Muslims can take a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years to convert to Christianity. Why? Number 1, to convince him about the Trinity, about Jesus Christ died on the cross and he read the Bible, you know, lots of questions. Number 2, to eliminate all the culture he has. Well, if he become Christian, it means that his dad was wrong, his mom was wrong, all his teaching was wrong, all his mosques was wrong, all his sheikhs was wrong. Can you imagine yourself to change your Christianity? It means that all the church you grew up in was wrong, pastor was wrong, everybody was wrong, your dad who taught you Christianity was wrong. It's hard. So you change all this. It's a challenge. So it's kind of hard. Number 3, if he became Christianity, back in his head, even he doesn't tell you that, he will lose his wife. He will lose his kids. He may be killed. He will not be able to go back to his country. His dad and the mom will not see him anymore. So he has lots of a challenge. So it's, yes, I want to be Christian, but what I'm going to do with my wife? I'm going to do it with my kids. You know? Let me just show you something here very quickly. That guy converted to Christianity. And last year, he called me and said, my dad is coming to my home, Ashraf, and they prayed for me. I said, oh, well. So his dad's, spent like 2 months with him. And of course, he discovered that he converted to Christianity. At 11 p.m. at night, he discovered that his dad took his bags. His dad came from Saudi Arabia, and he doesn't know anything in the country, doesn't know a word of English. He took his wife, took his bags, went outside the street. I'm not gonna stay one night at your home, because he discovered his Christianity. Well, to make the story short, he stopped talking to him. Well, please, Muslims are human beings, they have feelings. So when even this converted, he still loves his dad. That's his dad, that's his mom. So he felt very sorry, very sad for losing his dad and his mom. So I met with him last Sunday before I came here, and he said that he's gonna travel back. They have something in Egypt, so he said, pray for me, I may be able to meet with my dad again. So it just challenges, it challenges. So that's why I'm saying, when I'm saying, follow up, never give up. Don't say what, sometimes he comes to you and asks you about Jesus. For example, like the Trinity. And then he will come again in a month and say, ask you the same question about Trinity. I told you before. And after a month he come and ask you the same question. Don't say, oh my gosh, you don't understand. No. He really wants to understand, but he can't help him. So never give up. Be patient with him. And I said international nights, I told you that before, activities, we have games, movies, etc. You can do lots of things, and I mentioned this when I'm talking, so I don't want to repeat myself. You can have news about Jesus, that's fine. Find a good time to share your personal testimony. Your Muslim friend will appreciate your sincere personal testimony. It will create a real hunger in his life for such a loving relationship with God. And I said that before. Share with him how Jesus changed you. Answer their questions. Are you with me, guys? I know it's too much, okay? But answer their questions. That's very important thing. And ask some questions. I'm almost done. So I may be done too. I don't know the other slides, but I'm almost done. And when you ask him question, like, what do you think about Jesus? Did you read your Bible? I'm just asking, why you guys sometimes don't like Christians? But ask this in a very sensitive way. You don't have to ask this question anyway. So you say, ask some question if you know to ask him some question, Like I read about women in the Quran that you guys can divorce and marry 4 at the same time. Is that true? I said, yes, it's true. So can you handle this? Is that hard for women, for 4 women to live in the same house? So, stuff like that. They have some stuff very weird, by the way. I just go out of this and come back. Like, for an example, for women, as I told you, he can divorce his wife. But if he divorced his wife once, he can bring her back again. And then he divorced her for the second time, the same wife, then he can bring her back again and remarry her. But in the third time, if he divorced his wife, he will not be able to bring her back again. Like if he loves her really and he just got mad and divorced her, well, come on, she's gonna come and remarry. Second time, yes. Third time, no. Well, what if he wants to bring her back to him? Well, he can under one condition. I call it dirty condition, but it is the condition. She has to marry another guy and sleep with him one night. Then, in the second night, that guy will divorce her. In that case, she can go back to his original husband. You get the point? So, it's unlogic. You know, I give my wife to somebody to stay with her just one night, and then the second night, it's a deal. I meet with a man and say, listen, I need my wife to come back to me, but as you know, our Islam, I'm gonna let you marry with my wife for one night. And so, you know, dirty stories like, you know, don't sleep with her, I'm gonna give you money, you know, and it's lots of things going on in that time. But in the second day, you promise me you divorce her because I want to remarry her again. So, but, you know, stuff like that. So you don't have to ask him good questions, but ask him like just other questions. Encourage them to take a decision. That's very important. Tell him like, what do you think now after I spend with you 2-3 months now? What do you think? Do you think to accept you? Don't say like, do you think to be Christian? No. Do you think like you would like accept Jesus in your life? Do you need your life to be changed and accept Jesus? And this is one of the things, like, this is my daughter, my wife, and this Nancy from Campus Crusade, and they shared, it's called the Women Night. They invite all the women, just women, about 150 women. They came, and it was a very good night. My wife, don't forget to pray the first and the most fundamental. And I talk about praying. Winning Muslims is unique, as I told you. Remember their challenge, as I told you about the challenge they may face, expecting a miracle and they will come to Jesus. And this is my request for you. Pray for us. We need that. And I was telling outside one of our attendants here that we'll go to Egypt and we'll do lots of ministry, and God is opening lots of ministry. Tomorrow we'll talk more about the ministry. But we need prayer. We need support, really. It's not that easy, but we need a lot of prayer. And stay in touch. I would love for you if you fill this thing, the mailing list here. We'll be in touch together. We can help in anything, or we can just, guys, encourage us. Tell us as a church organization about the seminar. It's a free seminar. I'm not taking any money for the seminar itself. So it's a free seminar. Any church you know in any place in Minnesota or outside, if you are from different states, just give them my information and I can go. I do this seminar in all over the states. That's why here I'm traveling a lot to do seminars. Read our e-newsletter and take an action. This is my phone number. All my information outside. Encourage you to take a free copy, as I told you, from my brochures and my magazine. And I really thank you so much for your coming here, for listening to me here. If you have any question, you can ask before I let them. Yes, sir.
May we clap our hands for your presentation? Would that be so appropriate?
It is very appropriate for me. I really want to clap for you guys for your coming, and thank you so much. God bless you. Any instructions?